allied communities, as well as our entire nation, have been dealt. But we will use words to try. We owe it to all who have been lost and all who have been left behind to always try. Sunday morning, when I woke up to the inconceivable shock that the worst mass shooting in American history committed by a single person had been committed at a gay nightclub in one of our safe spaces, I had no words. As I watched the news footage of the victims, the injured, being carried away, bleeding, mothers grieving, I felt my heart break, and there were no words to put it back together with. I had no words, but I knew of one thing I had, one thing that we all have, and that is the power to organize. As our community has done across the years, we have always come together. From the Mattachine Society, to the Stonewall Inn, to the HIV and AIDS epidemic, to sexual orientation non-discrimination laws, to the fight to end marriage segregation, to transgender civil rights, and to protecting our most vulnerable LGBT youth, we as a community, with our allies, have always banded together for change, for progress, for hope, and to end hate. And look at what we have done tonight. To every one of you who has felt powerless in the wake of this darkness, I tell you that you have power. Our LGBTQ community has always known that when we come together and you come out and you use your power to make change, we make progress. By attending this vigil, by expressing your feelings to those in your life and on social media and everywhere you can, you use your power for good by being out, by being an ally, and not letting the forces of hate win by keeping you silent. In our not-so-distant past, none of this would have been possible. Our community has made such great progress and gained such great acceptance, it takes my breath away still. Tonight, we have hundreds of you, members of the Western New York community, coming out to take a stand against hate and to stand for the LGBTQ community. Our elected officials support us. Thank you to Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, Mayor Brown, Senator Kennedy, Acting District Attorney Flaherty, and U.S. Attorney William Hochul. Thank you for standing with us today and always, especially in this political climate where bigotry is spewed so often we easily become numb to the speech that fuels the fires of this hatred. At the Stonewall Inn in 1969, the LGBTQ community's safe spaces were being threatened, and we took a stand. We took our stand and we stood our ground. No matter how many times we were told no, or how many people we lost, we stood our ground through generations to arrive at this day. At this time in our history where our local law enforcement, our government agencies all support, value, and protect us. Where when the forces of hate attack one of our safe places, those sacred places where we once gathered because we had to hide, you are not only attacking the LGBTQ community of people who fight back, but you are attacking all of us who are able to fight back and stand up against hate.
Hear, hear.
Gay, lesbian, straight, bisexual, transgender, queer, black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, American. Here on this day, we are able to stand together in the face of such unfathomable loss. When we stand together, we are strong. We have the power. The hatred that drove this man to commit this act of hate and terror may have forever changed us, but it can never defeat us. It can never take away the power that each and every one of you have to stand your ground against hate in whatever form you may see it take. It can never take away your ability to affect change in your world, to make a better society, to push for greater acceptance of all peoples, to advocate for legislation to establish and protect civil rights for all LGBTQ people, and to create a country where deadly assault weapons cannot be used to commit acts of terrorism on our soil. Never forget the power that you have. By coming out, by living out in the open, whether as LGBTQ or allied, you give the world hope. Yes, even in the face of such heartbreak and tragedy, there is hope. There has to be. As our Harvey Milk once told us, you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. Today we grieve for the victims, for the lost without words, but we must never forget them and the hope these men and women gave the world by living their truth and being free. We must never forget that what happened in Orlando is why hate speech matters, why bathroom discrimination laws matter, why fighting racism matters, and why LGBTQ lives matter. We will never forget Christopher Lineman, who established the first gay-straight alliance at his high school and who was killed Sunday morning for being a proud gay man. We will never forget Edward Sotomayor Jr., Stanley Aldomovar, Juan Ramon Guerrero, Kimberly Morris, Eric Ivan Ortiz Rivera, Peter Gonzalez Cruz, Luis Velma, Eddie Justice, Daryl Burt, and the dozens of our American family members we lost in Orlando. Let us honor their memory by grieving with their loved ones, never forgetting who they were and what we all lost, and by giving the good of the world hope to see us through this night. Thank you all for coming here tonight, for giving me hope, and to everyone who made this vigil possible. Thank you.